What's up, everybody? Crazy Eights here with another Star Wars Vintage Collection toy review. This time we're looking at Chewbacca from Star Wars. So let's take a look at the packaging and then we'll get into the figure and his accessories. All right, so this version of Chewbacca is from the Star Wars New Hope movie. You know, as there are different versions of him throughout the vintage line, but this one is from Star Wars. So you have an image of Chewie from Star Wars right there. You know, you got the old school logo with Luke and Leia, Chewbacca, Star Wars right there. And then Chewie in the blister pack right here. You can see him with his weapon, his bowcaster. Back of the box, you got an image of Chewie out of the box. Look, he's happy to be out of the packaging. He's all happy. He is number 381 in this line. And there's a little blurb. Chewie is a legendary Wookiee warrior with a big heart, known for his short temper, accuracy with the bowcaster, and unwavering loyalty to his friends. You got this going on over here. You have that if you need it. I got him off of Amazon. Seems to be the place to buy everything. I don't see these being stocked in Target or Walmart as much. So let's get him out of the packaging. Okay, so here he is out of the packaging, and right off the bat, the fur placement on his hand is a little wonky. It's a little weird. I get what they were doing. You know, he did have a lot of, like, I guess, extended hair going on his arms like this, but that was just, they didn't have to put that on it. They could have done better with this. But yeah, and on this side too, he's got like all the extra fur. It's the only thing I don't like about it, but size-wise, I feel like they got the size. Let's take a look at the details. Here's his head sculpt. Pretty good. I like a lot of paint on these things. That's what I like about them. For such a small, like a smaller figure, they really do a good job with the paint. Even though I feel like this brown is lighter than this shade, kind of throws it off a little bit now looking at it. Yeah, but that's his mullet. And then he's got the bandolier around him attached to the man purse. And he's got a few shades of brown on top, in the middle, and the arms and all that to give him some tone. And there's his feet, his toeses. And there's his hands. Pose for triggers. Here he is from the back. Yeah, like I said, really good except for this stuff. This stuff right here is meh. And now as for accessories, he comes with a bowcaster that comes in 2 pieces. And shit, I just dropped one of them. Damn it. Alright, let me go find the little piece. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the one piece. It's a small flimsy piece, very gummy. And then here's the main gun itself. And it's got a strap on it. So let me put this together and show you how it looks. All right, and here it goes all together. That looks pretty good. And of course, he can hold it or he can wear it around his body. Here he is holding it, and this little part fell off. It's not really a tight fit. You may want to glue this in if you wanted to, but I'm just gonna put it back in the storage case so I won't lose it. But yeah, you have to probably glue that on there. But here he is with the bowcaster in his hand, which is good. This strap is kind of big, so when you try to wrap it around his body, it falls off. So it's best for him just to hold it for right now. It is kind of bulky. But yeah, this piece right here, Jesus Christ. All right, let's take a look at other Chewies and some other comparisons with him. I want to see how he compares with Chrysanthemum, however you say his name. All right, so for the first comparison, here he is with Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron Chewbacca. Look at that size difference. Duh. He is with Power of the Force Chewbacca. Size difference is ridiculous, but this dude's been working out. Can't get these guys to stand up that well. When they came out, I liked them, but now I'm looking at them, not so much. I don't like how they all got like a static pose. All right, He can't stand up. But here he is with the classic Chewbacca from the original trilogy, the original toy line. And you can see the big difference in technology and sculpt and all that. He's just one big piece of plastic from the head up to the waist. But this is Chewie that I played with as a kid, and this was my Chewbacca. Here he is with some original trilogy vintage lines. He is with Vader and a Stormtrooper. I like how he's taller than all of them. Here he is next to Han Solo, who I reviewed earlier in the week. So you can see the differences. And again, the height is awesome. Like, I like how tiny he is. I do like that. All right, last but not least, see if I get him to stand. Here he is with Chris, I don't know how to say it. You guys know who he is. He's from The Mandalorian. This is the Mandalorian version of him. But you can see that he's a little taller Chewbacca just by a smidge. But he's beefier. He's definitely stocked and working out. Where Chewie needs to, he's very lanky, which is really cool. I like how they look together though. They look really good together. All right, so that was my look at Chewbacca from the vintage collection. This is the Star Wars version, and he is number 381 in the series. I do want to get a lot of the original trilogy figures over the newer stuff. Although they got some good, cooler figures, I do want to focus on the original trilogy. But it looks like they're coming out with a lot more from the most recent stuff as opposed to the old stuff. Maybe that's because they're probably tired of doing them. But anyway, this is Chewbacca. Cool figure. Very light on accessories, but all he needed was a bowcaster. I know there's other versions out there. There's an Empire Strikes Back one with a welder and all that stuff and goggles. This is just him with the bowcaster. The only thing I don't like, again, was the arms. Is this excessive fur on it, on this hand, especially where it's sticking out. Kind of messes up the mold. This one doesn't look too bad, but when you kind of see it like this, yeah, they could have done better. Head sculpt is really good. Good profile, looks like him. The only thing is, like, the head is limited to movement because of how he sits. So he can't look up and he can't look really down. So you can't get any expressions out of him with the head. But everything else, as far as posability, really good for this size. Yeah, I need a Chewie in my collection, and now I got one. Anyway, oh, and the one thing is with this bowcaster. Comes in two pieces. This part is supposed to go right here in the bottom and clip on, but it's a very shallow piece and doesn't really snap in that good. So be careful with this when you get it. You might have to glue it together. But anyway, besides that, that's it for this guy. I hope you all enjoyed it. Until next time, Crazy Eats is out.